Okay, it's 9:14 and it's December 1st, and I'm just watching the tail end of the Fatima message.
Russia will be consecrated to my Immaculate Heart, and many sinners will be saved, and an era of peace will be given to the world. And that brings us to the final point, and that is to be devoted to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, to love Our Lady, to imitate her virtues, to try to honor her by our prayers, by the way we live, and by taking seriously her message at Fatima. We're going to be talking now about two other things that are very important with the message of Fatima, and finally we'll end by looking at how that message is still very important today. When Our Lady spoke about the evil that would arise in Russia, which was communism, she said she would ask for two things to stop the spread of communism. The first thing she asked for was the communion of reparation. Mary fulfilled that promise to come again and speak about that and make that request. She fulfilled that on December the 10th, 1925. Sister Lucia, who was the only surviving of the three children, the visionaries, at that time, had become a postulant with a group of sisters called the Dorothean Sisters. She was living in a place called Pontevedra, Spain. And when she was there, one day, our Lord, as the Christ child, plus the Blessed Mother, with the Blessed Mother, came and appeared in her room. And Sister Lucia saw the heart of the Blessed Mother surrounded by a crown of thorns that were piercing the heart of Mary. And the Christ child spoke first, and he said to Sister Lucia, "You see the heart of your mother surrounded by thorns put there by evil men who dishonor her and blaspheme her. Who will remove those thorns from her heart?" And then Our Lady spoke to Lucia and said, "At least you do this for me. And I promise," she added, "I promise that anyone who on 5 consecutive first Saturdays of the month go to confession, receive Holy Communion, say a rosary, and then spend 15 minutes meditating on the mysteries of the rosary, all with the intention of making reparation to my Immaculate Heart, I promise, I will assure that they will receive the graces necessary for their salvation at the moment of their death." And so Our Lady was asking for what we call the 5 First Saturdays devotion. I call it Our Lady's formation program, because spiritually she's forming us. She's having us go to confession at least once a month, and we know we need to do that. And Sister Lucia said, if you can't go right on the first Saturday, go up to a week or 10 days before or after, but with the intention that you want to make that part of your first Saturday reparation to Mary. Secondly, she said, receive Holy Communion on the first Saturday. If you can't receive it, if your parish doesn't have any Mass in the morning, you can still go in the evening. If you have a vigil Mass for Sunday in the evening. Blessed Mother didn't tell us what time of the day we had to receive Holy Communion. But a communion. See, in those days, people weren't going to communion very often. So Our Lady wanted to make sure we're receiving her Son frequently enough, but in the state of grace. The third point she asked for was to pray a rosary. Remember, she had asked the children to pray the rosary every day. That's part of her message. And then finally, she said, spend 15 minutes meditating upon the mysteries, all with the idea of making reparation to her Immaculate Heart for all the blasphemies and the dishonor shown to her by so many people throughout the world. How many people, unfortunately, despise Our Lady, reject her, dishonor her? Our Lord later on appeared again to Sister Lucia and gave her the 5 reasons why there are 5 reasons. He said there are 5 reparations. First, for those who blaspheme Mary's Immaculate Conception, her special privilege of being conceived without sin. And that's so very important to us, that Christ would be born of a mother who was never touched by sin. Secondly, make reparation for those who blaspheme Our Lady's perpetual virginity. That teaching is so important in the world today where sexual immorality is so out of control. And so Mary, the Virgin, the perpetual Virgin, we honor her, but so many dishonor her. So reparation is needed. Thirdly, reparation for those who blaspheme Mary as Mother of God and our mother too. So we honor our mother for those who dishonor her. Fourthly, make reparation for those who keep children from Mary.